Okay, we're here with the Governor Eric Greitens over in U City. He's getting ready to do a little talk with some of the other representation we've got locally, such as Mayor Welsh from U City. So stay tuned. Been cleaning up. A lot of familiar names. Sorry for walking on the graves.
Got it.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Ladies, can you stay put?
Don Meissner, good to see you. Still at the food pantry? Oh, I still work freelance, so I do all kinds of marketing stuff for different companies. It's not, I wish I was still in the
Oh, does she?
We have the governor getting ready to take the stage, which is the bed of a truck. That's pretty cool. I think that's what he's going to do, is hop up on the truck. That's where the microphone is. Hi, Sandy. You got your harmonica to come here and play for us. Hey, Dennis. We need you working the gates. Andrea, you got your bass? Hey, Mike. Wow.
We'll begin shortly. We're waiting for people to all come gather from the cemetery. Please come join us. We'll begin shortly. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, they're about to start talking. Sorry.
Oh, I see.
Phil, of course you're here.
Join me. Olam Chesed. Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Yarada, yarada, yarada. Olam Ibaner. Yeah, I will build this place from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Rory Pickerniece. I'm the Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council. And I wish all of you could see what I can see right now, because this is just the most incredibly astounding crowd. It really means so much to all of us to see everybody who's come out to show support, to show unity of our community, and to show that together we can repair anything that's broken. So I really want, on behalf of the entire Jewish community, to first and foremost thank each and every one of you for taking this time out of your day, do a little bit of repair of this world. Make this world just a little bit brighter, just a little bit stronger, just a little bit better than it started off this morning. I want to thank all of the people who helped organize this. I want to give a special thank you to University City and the Mayor's Office and the Police Department, who have been so tremendous in not only today, but in the investigation that's going on to make sure that people understand that this is not tolerated. To Governor Greitens and his staff, who put out the call for all of you and got everybody to come in such short notice, and recognize that our community needed a chance for coming together and for healing. And for everybody in the Jewish community, all of the organizations, the congregations, the groups who have been really working to bring this community together, to rise above what sometimes feels like a dark time. And to the Interfaith community for stepping forward and standing together, knowing that it's at this time more than ever that we need that friendship. Thank you all so much.
Wow. I really do wish you could see what we see up here. Bob Millstone, Rabbi Bennett, so many of you that have come to turn out. 70 years ago, our people, the Jewish people, was responding to a historic act of destruction and rebuilding from senseless acts of violence, like what we saw here. Destruction of property, destruction of people. I'm Andrew Rayfeld. I'm the president and the CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis, and I want to thank each and every one of you that took time from your day, in the middle of the workday, from your school, in the middle of class, and made a commitment to stand together against this kind of senseless acts of violence. Thank you. Was this an act of anti-Semitism? We don't yet know. But in some ways, it doesn't matter. The acts that have happened over the last few months are raising concerns in all of us. Concerns of increased threats, increased of hate speech, hate acts, in our own community, bomb threats, and our own targeting of the Jewish people. What can we do? We can do what we're doing here today. We can begin to mobilize ourselves in the face of hatred and intolerance and say this is simply unacceptable. I also want to encourage all of us as a community to take 3 clear steps when we encounter bigotry, hatred, racism, and anti-Semitism of all kinds. Name it, condemn it, and do something about it. We name it when we recognize it for what it is. It's anti-Semitism, it's racism, it's anti-Muslim hatred, it's bigotry of any kind. And when we see it, we have to name it as simply unacceptable. We have to condemn it. We have to publicly announce that we will not tolerate such speech and actions. Call out others who participated in it, particularly on social media, that we all have a responsibility in policing our own Facebook pages, our own Twitter accounts, and calling out our friends that break the bonds of civility. And we must not associate or receive counsel from people that traffic in that kind of language. Finally, we have to do something about it. We need to educate, mobilize, and give. We need to educate about the value of difference, toleration, and diversity in our society. And we are very proud as the Federation to be the host of the Holocaust Museum and Learning Center, which continues to be a resource to understand the historical implications of what happened to our people in today's society. We have to mobilize. We have to mobilize to do service events like this where we are standing side by side, shoulder by shoulder, Jews, non-Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, people of all kinds and all parties. And finally, there are needs, tangible material needs, and we must give. And I have to tell you, whatever your mode of giving, the response to what is going on here has simply been amazing. The mobilization of resources from all communities, straight to the cemetery. Many of you have seen J.K. Rowling tweeted about a Muslim group that has supported this cemetery, raised $20,000 to support the restoration and security. And the investments through the Jewish Federation of St. Louis in order to support not only the security and restoration of this cemetery, but the cemeteries across our region. As of today, thanks in part to Governor Greitens' shout out for our fund to resource, we've received over 700 individual donations and raised over $80,000. And these include gifts of $1,000 from San Francisco, from New York, from Hazelwood, from Joplin, from Kansas City, from Wheatland, Wyoming, from Chattanooga, Tennessee, ministers, rabbis, and churches, from Israel, from Canada. This is an international effort, and what we have done today is turn tragedy and destruction into community building and hope. I want to thank everyone here today who's come out. I want to thank all the speakers, and I particularly want to thank Governor Eric Greitens, who, thanks to the mobilization of his team, allowed us to get the word out, allows you to do meaningful work, so that we can go from here, when we see bigotry, hatred, anti-Semitism, and racism, to name it, to condemn it, and to do something about it. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce University City Mayor Shelley Welch.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. I'm honored to be with you all today, but I'm sorry that we've been brought together by these acts of hate and ugliness. On behalf of the people of University City, I want to express our anger and sorrow at what has happened here, no matter who did this vandalism, and to ensure you all know that this is in no way representative of what this community is all about. University City calls itself the neighborhood to the world. We have a long, long tradition of progressivism, diversity, tolerance, and openness here in University City. Many of those buried here helped make this community the welcoming place it has always been. Thank you. It is my hope that together we can speak forcefully against the rhetoric being heard in our community and around the country that somehow would lead some people to believe that this type of destruction in this holy place would in any way be acceptable in this community. Our thoughts are with the families of those who are buried here. We stand ready to help put to right this wrong as best we can and to make our disgust at what has happened here clear so everyone knows that we cannot and will not tolerate this happening again. Thank you. And now I would like to welcome Missouri Governor Eric Greitens and thank him personally and on behalf of our University City community and this larger community for the work he's done to make today happen. Governor?
Guys, this is a really beautiful moment for all of us to reflect on. And it's in times of trial where communities prove themselves. And what happened here in this terrible act of vandalism caused a lot of pain for a lot of families. What you've demonstrated by your commitment and by your service is that on the other side of that pain, we emerge wiser, knowing that we have so many people who we can call on and can count on. On the other side of suffering, what we see is that there's tremendous strength. All of these people, all of us who come together to serve together in shared service. And, you know, one of the things that was so powerful for me, my experience, when we put out this call to action, and I reached out to the Archbishop, and he said, I stand with you. And I reached out to Baptist leaders and to Protestant leaders, and they said, I stand with you. I reached out to the imams here in St. Louis. They said, I stand with you. We reached out to people of all faiths, and look, everyone came together to make this place better and more beautiful. And we here in Missouri can show the world that in the face of this kind of vile act, we can come together through acts of beauty and love and service and demonstrate what we're capable of. I'll tell you, just earlier today, as many of you know, I was with the Vice President. And he said, and the Vice President said, I am so impressed by the people of Missouri. Said, I am so impressed by how the people of Missouri are responding to this. He said, would you mind if I came out and just volunteered a little bit myself? And he came out and he joined us because of the example that you're setting. And as many of you know, I'm Jewish. In Judaism, we have a concept called tikkun olam. And the basic idea of tikkun olam translates as repair the world. And the basic idea is that all of us, every one of us, has an obligation in our own lives to find a way to make the world better. Every one of us in our own lives has an obligation to find a way to be of service. And what we've done here has been a tremendous act of repair. And I'm so proud of all of you who've come out to join us. You know, one of my favorite prayers is just when we ask God to make us masters of ourselves so that we might be servants of others. All of you have come together today to be servants of others. And I'm proud today to serve by your side. Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Wow, now I know what the others were speaking about. I can see the size of the crowd. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see so many people coming together and saying, this shall not stand. Saying that love will win out over hate, peace will win out over anger, goodness will triumph over evil. I'm Deacon Carl Summer. I'm here representing Archbishop Carlson for the Archdiocese of St. Louis. And I wish to say to you that the Catholic community of St. Louis strongly condemns this act of vandalism against the sacred grounds of this cemetery. We stand with our Jewish friends and neighbors in your time of sadness, fear, and uncertainty. It's the Second Vatican Council document. The Declaration on Non-Christian Religions states, the Church, mindful of the patrimony she shares with the Jews, decries hatred, persecution, displays of anti-Semitism directed against Jews at any time and by anyone. And the Archdiocese of St. Louis stands by these words and will be with you every step of the way. And we ask all persons of goodwill to unite against all forms of violence and intimidation against members of any religious, racial, or ethnic group. For our part, we pledge to work ceaselessly to ensure that the St. Louis community becomes a model of respect and mutual kindness for peoples of all religions, races, and ethnicities. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your goodness. God bless you all.
Good afternoon. My name is Imam Mufti Asif Umar. I am the Imam of the Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis in Baldwin, Missouri. Today, we stand in solidarity with our Jewish friends. We wholeheartedly condemn these despicable acts of vandalism, along with the numerous threats made against Jewish community centers across America. We believe these acts of hate are not only an attack against the Jewish community, but an attack on all of us and the values we hold as peoples of faith and as Americans. No faith group deserves to go through this. While many families who have loved ones buried in this historic cemetery are suffering and grieving, we also see signs of hope and encouragement with this gathering. Just as we saw members of various faith groups sending messages of love to the Muslim community recently, including an example in Texas, where a synagogue was opened for Muslims to use for prayer after their mosque was torched, we see the same loving gestures towards the Jewish community here today. I am extremely proud of the Muslim community, both locally as well as nationally, who swiftly stepped up to voice their concerns, and those who began an online effort to raise money for the damages with a goal of $20,000, which was raised in under 2 hours. As of now, the amount has more than quadrupled and stands at over $90,000. We are encouraged to see the love, hope, and support here for our Jewish friends, and we hope our relations as an interfaith community continue to grow so we develop tolerance, peace, and unity in society. Thank you very much.
My name is Moshe Shulman, the rabbi of the Young Israel of St. Louis. And I was asked to do Ori a favor. So you're all going to pose for a selfie. Because this truly is a sight.
Turn around.
Everybody, stay right where you are and don't move. Honorable Eric Greitens, Governor of Missouri, Honorable Shelley Welsh, Mayor of the City of University City, Deacon Carl Summer, Member of the Ecumenical and Interreligious Commission of the Archdiocese of St. Louis, Mufti Asif Omar, Imam of the Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis, members of the community clergy, distinguished rabbis and fellow members of the Jewish clergy, dear friends. When the Jewish people stood at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah 3,500 years ago, our tradition teaches that we stood ki ish echad b'lev echad, as one people, with one heart. We stand that way today, as one people, with one heart, with all of you, with a unified voice that says there is no room in our community for bigotry, hatred, or anti-Semitism, violence of any kind, and especially not against the most vulnerable and defenseless, those who rest peacefully for eternity. Standing here, as we looked out at the desecration of this holy place, we were reminded of another time, a much darker time, when hatred was tolerated and violence against Jews was encouraged, and the cemeteries were often the first targets. But today we see great love, unity, and strength. In our tradition, a cemetery is called an Atra Kadisha, a holy place. It's holy because countless Jewish men and women are buried there. It's holy because the body returns to the dust as it was, but the soul, the spark of the divine that lives inside us, returns to God who gave it. V'yashov v'yafar al haaretz k'shehaya, v'haruach tashuv el Elohim asher netana. And it is holy because Jews pray there. The cemetery is also a place of peace. When laying a loved one to rest, we declare, El Mekomo or El Mekoma Yavo B'Shalom, may he or she come to their final resting place in peace. We say in our memorial prayers, at every memorial service, at Yizkor, at a funeral, V'yanuchu b'shalom al mishkavo, may they rest peacefully and eternally under the sheltering wings of the Almighty. And the desecration of a Jewish cemetery is a violation against the holiness and the soul of our people, and the peacefulness of these souls who rest here, and the peace of our community. And in the face of such a desecration, we will not be silent. I want to thank my colleagues from other faith communities for standing with us today. We stand together as one community because they believe, as we do, that an attack against the Jewish people, against the Jewish community, is an attack against freedom for all. They believe, as we do, that an attack against the innocent and the defenseless who rest peacefully in this holy place is an attack against innocence and defenseless everywhere. And it will not be tolerated, it will not be dismissed without protest and without response. I want to applaud the leadership of our elected officials for mobilizing quickly, for taking decisive and demonstrative action in an effort to say no to bigotry, to hatred, to violence, to targeting against innocents because of their faith in life or in death. And I want to thank and applaud the community leadership for recognizing that we need to stand together at this time, and that what unites us is far greater than what divides us. As the schools were coming in, the head of school of one of the day schools in the community that came here to help and volunteer made the comment to the students that the name of this cemetery is called Chesed Shel Emeth. Chesed Shel Emeth means kindness of truth, kindness that one does for one another without expectation of repayment, but only out of love and devotion. And that's what we have done here today, kindness of truth, Chesed Shel Emeth. Thank you. To conclude, I would like to ask you all to join me in the declaration of 4 words, 4 Hebrew words. And I'll get you to repeat after me so that those of you who are not fluent in Hebrew will be able to join us. These 4 words are a statement and a commitment that once again these souls shall rest peacefully, and that once again their families and loved ones shall be comforted, and that once again we as a community shall know holiness and sanctity. V'yanuchu b'shalom al mishkevoteihem. May they rest in peace for all eternity. Thank you.
I'm not going to actually get all the way up because I'm just going to jump in. We have we're very honored to have an addition to our program today, so we're going to just interrupt what you might be seeing on paper, but we're just delighted to have joining us today Congressman Lacey Clay, Congressman from St. Louis, and also to share some remarks as well.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. This is also my neighborhood. I live on the other side of the cemetery. So when I heard about the destruction, the example of hate, it upset me like it upset most of you. And so I came here today to show my solidarity with the Jewish community. And I look around and I see the people assembled here are a symbol of love. And I think Dr. King said it best when he said darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only the light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And this is what I call love. Let me thank all of you for being here today. We will not let hateful acts stop us in our journey to show what love is really all about. So thank you and God bless you all.
Oh, wow. Everybody's been astonished. It's amazing. I'm Brigida Rosenberg, Rabbi at United Hebrew Congregation here in St. Louis. And again, I want to reiterate my thanks for all of you who have come out here from the greater St. Louis community. We have people I know who came in from out of town. There are even colleagues here, rabbis who came from out of town because their family is here in this cemetery. And we've come to our portion now where we are here. Not only have we worked together, but now we are going to pray together. So if you are lucky and you have one of the programs, we turn inside now to a prayer for healing. And this is a prayer for healing that was adapted from a prayer written by Rabbi Seth Goldstein. And if you have this, please join in reading and reciting with me. Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors.
Destruction has been visited on our community. Our sacred space has been violated.
The motivation we do not yet know, and we feel vulnerable, afraid, angry, and broken. God and God of our ancestors, we pray to you. May strength come from our vulnerability so we can support one another and receive the support of others with gratitude and humility. May compassion come from our fear so we do not act from that fear and we can pursue justice, not revenge, peace, not violence. May wisdom come from our anger
so we are able to see the desecrating space
affects and offends not just
our community,
and let that guide our hearts to join together with those of all faiths to fight senseless hate and destruction in our world. And may healing come from our brokenness so we are able to rise seek to do good. May the shelter of your peace spread over us and over all who dwell on earth. And let us say, Amen.
There we go. It is a beautiful sight. I'm Rabbi Noah Arno. I'm the rabbi, one of the rabbis of Kol Rina Synagogue, just down Hanley Road. Don't cheer for me. Don't cheer for my congregation. Cheer for everybody who's here.
Yeah.
Louder. I'm going to chant now in Hebrew, Psalm 23, and then I'll ask you to read it together with me. Mizmor David, Adonai lo echzor, binot deshe arbitzeini, al mei menucha v'nahaleni, nafshi shover, yancheni v'ma'aglei tzedek, למען שמו גם כי אלך בגץ על המוות לא ירא כי אתה עמדי שבתך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני תערוך לבנה ישלחון נגד צוררי נשענת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי ושבתי בבית אדוני leorech yamim. Let's read together the Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd,
I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures.
He leads me beside the still waters.
He restores my soul.
He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
Your rod
And your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Thank you.
I'm Elizabeth Hirsch. I'm the rabbi at Temple Emmanuel. The words of the Kaddish bring comfort us. They comfort us as we stand side by side in grief and hope, in love and in peace. As we speak these words today, may the souls of those who came before us, those who are resting here at this holy place, find peace, especially at this time. We join together in these sacred words of praise and blessing. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach v'yirtei v'yamich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalau hizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'olam oleh amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kodeshah b'rechu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbachata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yamal v'imru amen. Yehei shama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramah. Say shalom. Alleluia, Kol Israel, Bimru, Amen. May God grant peace to those who mourn. May God bring comfort to all of us, to this sacred community. Together we say, Amen.